Why do people believe that the world is going to end in 2025? Recently, some theorists have fixated on the year 2025 as a potential date for apocalyptic events. While there's no credible evidence that supports these claims, they persist due to a combination of cultural, scientific and psychological factors. In this video, we're going on an exploration of why 2005 or 2025, what am I on about, has become a local point for such beliefs.
Analyzing the news.
Many end-of-the-world beliefs stem from religious traditions. Some groups interpret religious texts to predict specific dates for this apocalyptic events. For example, let's start with biblical prophecy. Certain Christian sects interpret passages in the Bible, such as the Book of Revelation, as an indication that humanity is nearing the end times. While the Bible does not explicitly name 2025, some generalize this year is based on calculations related to the 7,000 year timeline theory, which points that humanity is in its final millennium. There is also the Mayan calendar misconceptions. The Mayan calendar famously caused a global stir in 2012, with many people believing its end implied a complete end to the world. People were really scared. They thought the world was going to end. Even I did. However, some theorists argue that this interpretation was incorrect, and it really suggests that true end of the Mayan calendar aligns with 2025. Notre Dame and other historical prophets often surface in discussions about this apocalyptic date. Their cryptic verses interpreted and reinterpreted, with some believers suggesting that 2025 aligns with certain foreboding prophecies. Let's look at climate change and the environmental factors. Climate change is one of the most pressing threats facing humanity, and its increasing effects fuel the end of the world thinking. There are predictions that 2025 might mark a tipping point that will stem from several factors. There are scientific warnings too. Reports from organisations like the Intergovernmental Panel of Climate Change warn that without significant action, global warming could reach irreversible levels. And then there's the 2020s, as they're frequently mentioned as a crucial window for avoiding the worst effects. A big one is the doomsday clock. Bulletin of the Atomic Scientific Mainstream symbolic symbol of doomsday clock, which represents the likelihood of a man-made catastrophe. As 2024, the clock is getting closer to midnight than ever, so speculations that the clock will reach midnight by the year 2025 fuel fears of imminent disaster. I'm going to do another video on the doomsday clock very soon. It's very interesting, but scary. What about the ecosystem collapse? Environmentalists warn that the accelerating species of extinction and habitat destruction could lead to a ecosystem collapse. Basically, the animals are going to fade away and die. Where do we get our food? These predictions often point to a mid-decade milestone for irreversible damage, adding to this apocalyptic anxiety that everyone's feeling. Then we have technology and AI concerns. Rapid advancements in technology, particularly artificial intelligence, AI, have sparked debates about the potential risks to humanity. Some experts and theorists worry that these advancements could lead to catastrophic scenarios. Can't get my words out. Could we be facing an AI takeover? Concerns about AI systems becoming uncontrollable or suppressing human intelligence, known as the singularity, are sometimes linked to the year 2025. This date appears in specific timelines for achieving super intelligent AI, raising fears to a dystopian future. There is also the increasing reliance on technology, and the internet has heightened fears and a large scale of cyber attacks. Hypothetically, cyber apocalypse involving the collapse of global financial systems or critical infrastructure are referred as potential triggers. As well as that, we are all aware of the geopolitical tensions in the world and the threat of nuclear conflict. There are rising tensions between major powers such as the United States, China and Russia, and these raises concern about potential conflict. These scenarios often involve a third world war or catastrophic escalation of existing conflicts. And then there's the economic forecasters. They occasionally predict severe recessions or collapse, which could destabilize societies. What about the psychological, cultural factors? The appeal of the end of the world and this way of thinking often lies in psychological, cultural dynamics. People are drawn to doomsday scenarios or conspiracies for various reasons, including the fear of the unknown. Rapid technology and social environmental changes create uncertainty. Predicting an end date like 2025 gives people a way to process these anxieties. And then there's cognitive bias. Humans have a tendency to see patterns and predictability in random events. This bias often leads to the belief that the current crises are building towards an inevitable climax. There is also social media amplifications. The internet and social media platforms spread conspiracy theories and apocalyptic predictions faster than ever before. Viral posts and videos contain speculative ideas into widely discussed phenomena. Despite these fears, there is no credible evidence to suggest the world will ever end in 2025. End of the world predictions often reflect more about human psychology and culture of anxieties and actual threats. In reality, humanity has weathered countless ends of the world predictions in the past, from the Y2K bug to the 2012 Mayan calendar. Do you remember that one? That was scary. Each time, society emerged largely intact, often with lessons learned about resilience and adaptability. But then you've got these people on the old YouTube. Give an example. Alex Jones and David Icke are two well-known figures in the world of conspiracy theories. Both have gained significant following by promoting controversial ideas about governments and global elites and the nature of reality. While their views overlap in some areas, their approaches and primary focus kind of differs. Now, Alex Jones is an American radio host, filmmaker and conspiracy theorist. He is best known for his show, The InfoWars, where he talks about governmental corruption, global conspiracies, and what he sees as threats to freedom. His style is loud, emotional and aggressive, which has attracted both fans and critics. Over the years, Jones has become a paralysing figure in the media and politics. Some of his key beliefs include global elites and that they control the world. Jones argues that there is a secret group, a powerful people, often referred to as the globalists. And these people are working to establish a one world government. There might be a bit of truth in that, but who knows? He believes they want to control every aspect of life, from politics to personal freedoms. He frequently claims that major tragic events such as terrorist attacks or mass shootings are false flags, meaning they were staged by governmental to justify more control over citizens. Jones is deeply suspicious of governmental agencies like the CIA, the NSA. He believes that they use technology to spy on ordinary people and strip away their rights. He will often question vaccines, pharmaceutical companies, and mainstream science, claiming that they are tools of control. Then there's David Icke. David Icke is a British author and public speaker. He started his career as a professional soccer player and later worked as a sports broadcaster. In the early 1990s, Icke had a spiritual awakening that transformed his life completely. He began claiming that he was a messenger with important knowledge about humanity's true nature and the hidden forces that are controlling the world. Unlike Alex Jones, who focuses on political conspiracies, Icke blends spiritual ideas with his theories, making his approach more mystical and metaphysical. David Icke believes that there is a mix of conspiracy theories and spiritual teachings. Some of his central ideas include reptilian overlords. Icke is most famous for his claim that the world is controlled by a race of shape-shifting reptilian aliens. He believes these reptilians disguise themselves as humans and hold positions of power, such as politicians, royalty, and business leaders. Icke argues that the world we experience is a hologram, an illusion. He believes humanity is trapped in this artificial reality by this reptilian overlord who feed off our fear and negative energy. Similar to Alex Jones, Icke believes in the existence of powerful global elite. He calls them the Illuminati and claims that they orchestrate wars, financial crises, and pandemics to maintain control over humanity. Now listen, despite his dark theories, Icke encourages people to awaken spiritually. He believes that by raising their consciousness and rejecting fear, humans can escape the control of the reptilians and the false reality that they've created. Now it's important to remember that beliefs about the end of the world in 2025 stem from a mix of religious interpretations, scientific warnings, technological fears, and cultural anxieties. While these theories capture the imagination, they are not entirely supported by concrete evidence. Instead of surrendering to the idea of apocalyptic fear, humanity can focus on addressing the real challenges that we actually face. For example, to ensure a sustainable future. In doing so, we can move beyond the allure of doomsday predictions and move more towards a hopeful vision of the years to come. It's important to remember that if you focus all your attention on something negative like doomsday, it's not going to be good for your mental health, because what it'll do, it'll put you in a state of anxiety, and before you know it, you'll be depressed. So it's not necessarily good to focus too much awareness on that aspect of things. So that's what we've got to say really about 2025. Is the world going to end? We don't know. But we have been saying this for hundreds of years. We always think the world's going to end. But is it really? It's going to change, but I don't think it's going to end. So thank you for watching, and always remember that everything is going to be alright.